I love to tell my fellow libertarians, particularly sort of academic economists, we both come out of the George Mason University tradition, that I think it's actually good to spend a little bit of time in government. Don't spend too much time because you might become part of the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
But that stubbornness and that framework that we have, both Hayek and Buchanan, we were talking about this before we went live. It's good to see how the process actually works, and I think libertarians have this theoretical framework as to how government works, but just seeing the natural tendency of people wanting to please who's ever loudest I'm sure there's an economic theory for this, but until you see it, you don't appreciate the fact that the squeaky wheel gets the grease. And particularly when these are really powerful people pushing
absolutely.
on you,
Well, and
it's
I think
something else.
one of the ways that being sometime in government also kind of helps you identify the Achilles heel. And let me kind of give you an example. Fannie and Freddie largely dominate the mortgage market because their funding costs are lower than everybody else's. So if you can squeeze that spread that they have of everybody else, you make a big difference. So I remember very early on, I had made some comments about, we're not going to ever bail them out again, not on my watch. And so I was having a meeting with a bunch of Wall Street guys, and one of them says, well, respectfully, Mr. Director, I think you need to be more cautious. You made some comments and spreads had increased 10 basis points and such. And then, after the meeting breaks up, I'm turning to one of my colleagues and I was like, 10 basis points? Damn, we're halfway there. Because again, if you can just kind of narrow that.
Yeah.
And so something where you would almost sure lose in a full frontal assault, you figure out how to flank. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what, and if you're not having an experience in government, you don't necessarily know what's the path of least resistance. You're not going to get in the front door. How do you go on the back door? And again, unless you've learned the maze, you're going to try to, do an amphibious assault in a way that's going to you're going to get bloodied.
Yeah.
Whereas, so again, learning it, I think you can make you more effective. And again, I understand that there's something fun and exciting about trying to charge, the front with the waving your flag. But at the end of the day, are you getting there? Are you getting the job done? And I think that was, to me, this is an important message for libertarians. It's an important message. Like when there was criticism of me in the press and other places, and I felt like I wanted to punch back, and I would always stop and ask myself, does this further my objective?
Yeah.
And if you think about it, I hate to put it too much military terms, but if your objective is to take that hill, do you really care how you take it? You care that you take it.
Right.
And that, to me, I feel like a lot of libertarians will get caught up in, if I can't do it exactly my way, or if I can't do it where I can brag about it, then I'm not going to do it. Whereas, I always channel the old Reagan thing about you can get a lot done in Washington if you don't care who takes credit. And so stuff like that of I care about being successful.